We are very quick to point the finger. We're very quick to blame people for our own problems, our own emotions, our own thoughts, our own feelings. And it's very easy to get settled in the victim mentality. It's comfortable because you're allowing the other person to have control over you. Whereas if you want to be a survivor, you're going to have to take active steps in order to go from victim to a survivor. And that's hard. My channel does a lot on emotional abuse, just because I have a lot of personal experience, but because I also love to study the brain and how we express those thoughts and feelings. But then I have to ask myself one day, who is the biggest abuser out there? The answer is you. We abuse ourselves constantly. We don't realize it. We feed ourselves false ideas, false thoughts, such as you're not good enough, or you're ugly, you're fat, you're too skinny, no one loves you, you're alone. We abuse ourselves on a daily basis. It's pretty much how self-help started. Self-help started because people were tired of abusing themselves. Because the abuse may start from the outside for some people, but it definitely continues on the inside. So I wanted to do a video today to explain why I believe that we are the biggest abusers. And some of the terms that I've talked about in my previous video actually apply to ourselves too. So let's start. I know many of you will not agree with this. I know many of you will feel apprehensive because you're thinking, well, why would I abuse myself? I'm already being abused. I would never do that to myself or to anyone I love. Here's the thing, guys. I've talked about negging, right? So quick overview. Negging is when someone gives you a backhanded compliment. When they emotionally manipulate you by saying something nice, but also by saying something nasty. So you're kind of left in this ambiguous place of whether it was an insult or a compliment. You can check out my video above to know a bit more about that. But how many times have you given yourself a compliment and then negated that compliment with that negative thought? What do I mean? Looking at yourself in the mirror and you're wearing a nice pretty dress, you look sexy, and you turn to the side and you're like, oh, I actually look thin. I actually look good in this dress. But it's black. Black is thinning. Oh, but I'm wearing spandex. I'm sucking all that fat in. I'm actually not like this. We put up a picture on social media and we get some likes, we get some engagement, and then we see someone else's picture and they get more. And in the beginning we're like, oh wow, people love me, I feel popular. I've also done a video on how social media makes us more unsocial, but that's a different topic. And we neg ourselves constantly. We continue to see something positive and then negate it with something negative. The worst form of emotional abuse, gaslighting. So I talk a lot about gaslighting both on my channel, but even with people that have been gaslighted. And there was this one story that I read about and it hit home. I was like, damn, this girl like really understands the idea of self-reflection. So her story, I'll make it quick, is that she was in a relationship and she was being gaslighted. And she had the courage, the strength to get out of that relationship. And she found a new partner. By the way, gaslighting. Gaslighting means that you emotionally abuse the person to an extent where they actually don't know their own reality. They'll say things that you're crazy, you're overreacting. I've done a video on 20 phrases that gaslighters use. I've done a video on how to gaslight. A bunch of stuff. I will link them below. But this girl was used to being in a relationship where her thoughts and feelings didn't really matter. And now with her new partner, who she said was very stubborn, every time they got into a fight or they disagree with something, she asked me actually, did I just gaslight myself retrospectively? Like, am I actually gaslighting my own self without needing it? And that kind of blew my mind because I thought, you know what? I've done the same thing. So I have been gaslighted for years. I have come to the point where I don't even know what my own reality is. And combine that with my medical condition, it kind of feeds into that. Did that really happen? And this girl with her new partner, even though he's not abusive, even though he hasn't tried to manipulate her or what she sees, every time she has a fight, she's thinking, well, am I overreacting? Am I oversensitive? And let me know in the comments below if this is something that you've gone through or going through. Because we are creatures of habit, after all. So when we are used to something, whatever that type of abuse is, we bring it back on ourselves. It becomes a habit. So this girl understood that her brain was being gaslighted on a constant basis. But now that her gaslighter was out of her life, she was actually gaslighting herself, because that's how her brain feels comfortable. The cycle of abuse, the reason why it's called cycle of abuse is because our brain feels comfortable with something that no matter how toxic it is, no matter how bad it has been for us, it feels that it's safe. Even though physically, emotionally, mentally it's not, it's familiar. That's the word. It's familiar. So I really want you to sit down and think about this. Think about how at the end of the day, no matter how many people have abused us, or how many people are going to abuse us, or if people have abused us, at the end of the day, we are the biggest abusers out there. This abuse comes out in wonderful phrases such as self-doubt, lack of confidence, distorted body perceptions, negative ways of thinking, overthinking, catastrophizing, inability to set boundaries. We abuse our brains constantly. So I just wanted to put that out there, part of Welcome to the Dark Side, because don't be so quick to point the finger, because everything starts with you. And if you are abusing yourself, if you're allowing yourself to be abused by your own self, then why the hell shouldn't someone else? You have to kind of reverse engineer it and think it like that. So if you are abusing yourself and the person even sees that, because abusers are very perceptive with that. So if the person sees that, then why wouldn't they also? If you don't have enough respect for yourself, why would someone else respect you? Now, I had to learn this the hard way. But this is one of the reasons why I want to put this video out there. Let me know in the comments below if you can relate. Remember that if you have been abused and you continue by abusing yourself, chances are you will bring out that abuse in your family, and you will just continue the cycle. So let's stop the cycle, guys, and let's stop self-abusing ourselves, because it's not getting us anywhere. Now, I hope this video was helpful. Please share this video with anyone who thinks that they are the biggest abusers to themselves. Make sure to subscribe to my channel somewhere here. Ring that bell for your weekly Thursday videos. And that's it, folks.